This is Dmitry from Fraudbusters. In this series, we're spotlighting real thoughts from industry leaders. Today, I'm joined by Antoine Vastel, Head of Research at Castle, Fraud and Bot Prevention Engine. Hi, Antoine. Let's jump straight to the question. What's one thing even experienced team still get wrong about bot detection?
In my opinion, is that several things, but I would say the first one is that teams they are often chasing a silver bullet solution, and like even if you go on Hacker News or on Reddit, you will hear people rejecting tactics or defenses just because it does not solve everything 100% of the cases. Then like treating single bot detection and large scale attack detection as the same problem. I will explain why after. And optimizing only for catching bots, but like okay, it's important to catch attacks, but then you shouldn't do it at the expense of your real users. So like my opinion, it's important to balance false positive and false negative and take into account that real users may have like diverse browsers with privacy countermeasures, for example. So what should you do to address that? In my opinion, like you should use a layered approach, combine different signals instead of just trying to rely on one single signal, one single approach. Because like anyway, there won't be like a single solution that will catch everything. Like for example, it's important to have obfuscation to prevent bots from forging your payloads. But then if you don't have like high quality fingerprinting signals, then you're not going to catch the bots that actually execute your JavaScript. So in my opinion, yeah, you should have like strong JavaScript fingerprinting with high quality signals, obfuscation. You should use behavioral detection. You should also have like a strong proxy detection, proxy intelligence. On top of that, have like outlier detection, detect abnormal shift in the traffic distribution to detect distributed attacks. You should also be sure that your fingerprints are resilient to lies and inconsistency because like attackers are going to lie. It's not like, is it going to happen? It's going to happen. And you should have signals whose sole purpose is also to detect it. And yeah, like you should have something, I would say like not too binary, like, like be able, to have a gradient because like it's not often easy to take a strong decision using only a set of signals. You want to combine different signals so that you don't penalize real human users. Also, like regarding like my second point, which was like you shouldn't treat like a single request bot detection as large scale attack. Like it's quite hard to detect a single bot request nowadays. Like if you don't want to make false positive, because like you may want more time to gather user interactions or yeah, and at scale attackers they will have to adapt their behavior. Like they won't just be able to make 1 million requests and no, it's not going to work. So they will use proxies, they will randomize their fingerprint, their behavior, change the timings of their interaction with the website, and you should use this against them. You should use the fact that as attackers need to scale, they will leave like subtle traces, and you want to look for these traces. You want to look for distribution shift over time or small inconsistencies that that are not consistent with the other users. And like once again, when it comes to bot detection, most people focus on false negative. No, you don't want to miss any bots. You want to block all of them. Okay, fine. Like real businesses, they can't, like let's say you're spending, $5 on, a Google Ads to acquire a user. Like you don't want to block them just after. Like it's wasted money. So you should, balance false positive and false negative. And you should keep in mind that not everyone is using the latest Chrome on Windows or the latest Chrome on Mac. Like, the web is diverse. You have users with uncommon devices. Some of these devices may have like, low end, CPU. So you don't want, a slow fingerprinting script. You want something like, that works well for all your users. You don't want to penalize everyone, just because they have a privacy extension or whatever. These people are also willing to buy things on your site. And so you should adapt the detection to take into account this diversity and avoid making too many false positive. And one of the way to do it as well is to use graduated response. Like you don't want to block the user right away just because you have a doubt. you may start, like have a scoring system that enable you, to increase the aggressiveness of the response, like rate limiting, or, ask for a second factor authentication, and maybe then, ask for a manual review per an analyst, etc. So yeah, for me, there is not a single fix. Like it's probably better to use different signals, different approaches, and never forget the false positive. It's not only about blocking bots.
Great thoughts resonate strongly within me. Follow to find more in the next videos.